If you're in your late 20s and still living in your childhood bedroom with your parents and you feel like a failure, stay for the next 5 minutes with me. Because the version of you who never rethinks, this is going to carry the chain for years, and this is not even true. I have lived independent, also moved back to my parents' house after 8 years of living in other countries. And I felt weird about it first and spent way too long comparing myself to others, like to other individuals who bought their first apartment, their houses, their cars. And I was thinking this isn't theory, it's what I actually noticed living with it. Here is what first we're gonna cover in that video, some of the advantages of living in parents' house. The disadvantages of how basically you're gonna mess with your head, like with your mental health living with you. And the third part is a switching of your mindset of living with your parents that might help you. Chapter 1, the advantages. Let's start with the obvious one, money. Rent, food, bills. You just stop to think about the financial part of your adulthood and you just get like some kind of financial freedom. And if you currently have a job, it's even much better. And I'm thinking that's not a small thing, that's a survival mess. But the part people skip, you actually have a time to think about who you are, what you are, and like what you want to do in your life, because you still have like a little small time to not to care about the adulthood problems. Mostly like you mess with yourself, trying to research yourself. And you're not alone. There is always someone to talk to. I'm pretty sure at every household, at every house, one of the parents gonna stay at the home, just like doing own stuff. And you always have a right, and like you always can have a talk with your parents. Sometimes you can ask for advice or for some kind of wisdom, just not gonna get from any podcast. Because you can't always trust information of people who are older than you, but if that person is genuinely trying to help you with some kind of advice, it's much better. And one of the advantages, there is only maybe like 3-4 people on earth who actually gonna wait here at your home. One of them is parents. Chapter 2, the disadvantages. The real ones. So let's talk about the problem, and mostly it's gonna be a problem with your mental health, specifically with your motivation that slowly gonna drain while living in your house, in your parents' house. I mean by that, living in comfortable house where always you have a food, warm water, electricity, you just basically stop to care about the part where you want to be someone. You just start to degrade slowly, basically brain rotting. Because what else you want to be happy of? That's a problem that I started like a year ago. Also, there is a problem is if you want to be alone, you have to go out. You have to go to the gym, you have to go to the park, you have to go out with your friends, or you have to go to the library somewhere else for like a few hours. Which is, for me, is quite like nonsense. Living in your house, if you had like, I used to live in my own studio in an apartment, so I could never leave it because I basically, all of my environment, my past apartments was like actually a table, a bedroom, and then my own library. That's all I needed for my life. But currently here in parents' house, I have to live somewhere to do that. And depending on your parents, I would say there is a control. There could be a strict rules, just like some old school comments that feel like your criticism. That part depends entirely on who you're living with. And chapter 3. This is one thing I want you to actually remember. Your parents are not trying to harm you. They try to protect you. I know, like biologically, mentally, whatever, like in any way, your parents will never harm you. It's in their already mentality to protect you, to give you some kind of advice. And about the advices, when one of your parents give you an advices or some kind of a wisdom, don't act like it was a criticism to you. Think twice, third, fourth, fifth, and so on, until you're not gonna understand it. Because the people who actually love you will never gonna hurt you, and the advice is giving them is like clumsy way of saying I love you and I protect you. And keep in mind, living with your parents in your late 20s isn't failure, and it isn't fairy tale. There is a pros and cons in both ways. In some households it can motivate you, in some not. It depending on what type of your parents are and what type of people are they. Killing, the only thing I would say is basically gonna kill your independence. So as fast as possible, try to get an apartment, like no matter what. But what I was thinking about that, even if I get apartment, I'm probably gonna live with my parents until I'm not gonna get I'm not gonna get a family. So if this hit close to home, you're not behind, you're just in season. That's it. That's the video. Thank you.